Hawaii week, big week for us. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a quick week. We'll actually start practice today. Usually the players would be off today, but going to get on a plane later this week and fly over there, and looking forward to the trip. Looking forward to a highly competitive game. I think we're going to face a really, really good football team in Hawaii. I think they will match up well with us. I think it will be a four-quarter game, and we better show up and play our best game if we want to win. But looking forward to the opportunity to play this game, and our kids are excited about it. With that said, questions?
Coach, Hawaii is where you started your career back in 2000. You're there as the GA special teams coach. What do you remember about that time, and what does it mean to be able to go back to where it all started for you?
Well, it'll be neat. Unfortunately for me, all I'm focused on is trying to win a game. But I was there for 4 years. Very special place. We were there at a great time. June Jones was the head coach. We were winning. Timmy Chang was the quarterback. Nick Rolovich was the quarterback. I think of some great names. Chad Owens, Travis LeBoy. Ashley Lee, I can go Pisa, Tino Samoa. I mean, these were all great players for Hawaii, and so it'll be special to go back there and to be on campus. And I hear it's a great venue, and, I got to watch the game's time so different when they play Vanderbilt, but got to watch about a half of the football. It seemed like a great environment. So that'll be neat. But at the end of the day, we're just focused on going to try to win a football game.
Kind of follow up with that, I think I heard on the radio last week a story about you picking up film at the airport at 2 a.m. What were your responsibilities like back then?
It was a little different. We didn't have the technology that we had, so you had it was still videotape VCR, so it was flown in overnight, and I didn't do it every time. I only had to do it a couple times, so don't make me think that hey, I was the guy, but. You had to be there at early hours of the morning to get the tape so that, it could be cut up and ready to go. But, it's a great place. I tell you what, the people there are tremendous. And, there's such pride there, I mean, that program, the players just don't play for them and the team and the university. They are playing for the state of Hawaii. And there's tremendous pride there. And so I think like all teams from week 1 to week 2, you make the most improvement. I think you'll see that in us. You'll see that in them. And I think you'll see a heck of a football game is what you'll see between two motivated football teams.
So Coach, when you say you'll see that in them, obviously people might look at that Vanderbilt game and say, oh, tough luck for Hawaii. It'll happen again the week after against Western. But what do you see from them that's going to make them more difficult in week 2?
Well, they're a very talented team. Very, very talented team. You look at with their offense, I mean, they're starting 5 offensive linemen. They play the game the right way, and they play with tremendous honor. Their running back is very talented player. Had 2 unfortunate fumbles. I mean, things that just the hat got on the ball at the right time, and it just so happened it popped in the guy's hands. I mean, it's just one of those fluke kind of deals. And so if he doesn't do that, I mean, it's probably a different game. And you're going to have those games sometimes. So I expect that to be corrected. I expect him to be showing out, and it's going to take everything we got to tackle their running back. I think they got a couple quality quarterbacks. They got behind in the game, so they had to get away from the game plan a little bit. But from an offense standpoint, I think they got good firepower, and then their defense, they fly around, man. Again, they play with a lot of pride. They do a lot of really, really good things. They like to get after it. So I think they'll match up well with us, and I think we match up well with them. So it should be a good game.
Talk about the offensive line. You guys had a very strong showing on defense last week. What do you guys have to do to build on last week's success and do even better to really go against those 5 guys that you mentioned?
Let me talk about us offensively. I felt like we left a lot of yards out there offensively, and I thought Austin Reed in his first start did some really, really good things. We had a couple drops that could have been explosive plays that could have changed some things, but there's some things too that I think he will see on film, and then in week 2 he'll be able to kind of, make checks and do some things that I think will give us a better chance coming out of the gate to start drives. For us defensively, it's really, they're a big physical offensive line, so we got to be able, and I say this every week, got to be able to stop the run, right? So if you can keep them from just rushing it all over the park and keep them, they got some talented receivers that can run. They got quarterbacks that can make throws, so, can't give up the explosive plays downfield. Don't turn over the football. All those things come into play. And at the end of the day, all you're trying to do is get to the last 5 minutes of the game. I say it all the time. Get to the last 5 minutes of the game and then go win it, because there's going to be highs and lows throughout the game. Get to the last 5 minutes and then go win the game.
Vandy had some success on the ground. I believe over 400 yards rushing. I believe 160-something of those were from their quarterback, though, so a little bit different personnel-wise from what Austin's known for, I guess. But is there anything in that kind of facet of the game that you see that you might be able to take advantage of?
Well, the quarterback for Vandy is a tremendous athlete. I mean, it's fun watching him play. But yeah, you're always picking up little nuggets here and there, that things that they show that it might flow into what you do. Yeah, I would say the short answer is yes. There's some things. Austin is very athletic too, and so I think that some of the things that their quarterback did, he can do as well. And so, we just haven't shown that part of the offense yet. Everybody thinks we like to throw it around the park, but from year to year, the dynamic of your football team changes. So, and you got to do what the defense gives you. And so, back to Vanderbilt's quarterback, I think that's a special athlete out there. He's hard to tackle, very, very fast, but there's some things there that we can probably take away from what he did.
Coach, the tight ends didn't seem to have a huge receiving role this past week. Do you think that's going to change going forward?
Every game's different. Every game's different. I think of Josh Simon, he didn't really have any catches, and you have what's called a get it to list. Hey, these are the plays to get it to that guy. It just played out that way. Think of a Dalvin Smith. Dalvin, we'd love to get him the ball. He didn't really see much action. It was kind of a Daywood, Davis, Malachi, Corley game. What I love about our offense is we have enough weapons, though. It's a long season, and nobody's selfish, and they're willing to say, hey, my turn is coming. So if you want to be a good football team, some days it's just not going to be your day, and some days it is. Just be ready when it's your turn.
With you guys defensively, had a lot of big plays, forcing some turnovers, getting to the quarterback, sacks. Also gave up some big plays. With the aggressive style that you guys want to play this year, was that just kind of the give and take with that? I mean, obviously you want to take away the big plays, but realistically, is that kind of what you expected?
Yeah, for us, our philosophy is it depends on what you're doing offensively, how we match up, but we're very multiple defensively, 3 down, 4 down, 5 down, very multiple with our pressures. When it comes to the passing game, we want to keep the quarterback guessing. Are we coming after you, where you got to get the ball out? Are we showing blitz and bailing out? We want to make it a tough day for the quarterback, where he has to earn it. You want to walk off the field at the end of the day, and if the quarterback for the opposing team got the best of you, it's because he earned it. And so that's the philosophy there. It doesn't mean you're going to be an attacking style defense every single play. You got to be smart. But yeah, that's kind of the philosophy we have right now. Again, Hawaii's a big physical football team, and so we got to also make some adjustments there for what they do as well.
With Coach Chang over there in Hawaii, like you said, played quarterback there while you were there. I guess, what do you remember about him as a player? Do you have any favorite memories of him there? And I guess, what's your relationship been like with him since then?
Timmy's just a great guy, just a pure-hearted guy. Just so excited for him that he gets to go back home and be the head coach of Hawaii and lead that team. I think it's the perfect guy to do that. I think kind of June Jones set the tone for what it could be, and I thought, Nick Rolovich did a great job, kind of got that back going again, and there's no question in my mind Timmy's going to do that again. He's just the right guy for the job. But as a player, Just a great player, man. I mean, I remember him breaking the all-time pass breaks, Ty Detmer's record, and it's a sold-out crowd, and he runs over and gives his dad the ball, and, his dad was worked for the line crew, for the TV crew, and just a special moment. That's just the kind of guy he is, He's a guy that's going to think of other people first, and I'm sure that's the way he probably is as a head coach. He's probably putting other people in front of him. So happy for him. He's going to have a lot of success, and there's no question he'll get that thing going there for sure.
All right, Stephen, I think we're done with questions in the room. Feel free to ask what you have.
Hey, Coach, I was just wondering, back then as a young couple, what was it like, working for June and your wife working, I believe, for Lee Steinberg? Did she help create what is now the logo for the University of Hawaii football team?
Well, she was assistant marketing director and worked for the Steinberg group and really enjoyed it. And Coach June did a great job of bringing that group in, and she was a part of all that. I wouldn't say she came up with the logo idea or any of those things, but she was a part of that group that helped implement it. Just special time. We had just gotten married. It was like a 4-year honeymoon, and my first daughter, Shelby, was born there, and she has a Hawaiian middle name, and she's been trying to get back there ever since, if that tells you anything. But she has a lot of the aloha spirit in her. But special memories there for sure for my wife and I.
Was there anything you took away from that time there? Any special food or plate lunches that you ate, or things like that, or any traditions you
Spam musubi, I love spam musubi. Plate lunches are great. All the food was great. I love poke now because of my time there and all the different bowls and all those things. But just the culture, the food, the people. It's a one-of-a-kind place. It really is. And like I said, it's a place where everybody's always pulling for each other. And what I loved about the University of Hawaii, it's like I said before, it's more than just you, the individual. It's more than the university. It's about the state and how you represent the state. And that's the one thing that stood out to me. And that's why I keep coming back for this game for our guys is, it's a big game for us. If we can go out there and get a win, it'll be a big win for us because they are going to be a good football team. It is going to be a competitive game, and they have tremendous pride. So that's probably the biggest things that stand out to me when you go over there.
And finally, I guess you kind of remember how the field used to be back then, that was sort of eaten up and wasn't in very great shape and everything. What's it been like seeing the transformation of it?
You broke up. What transformation of what?
Transformation of the field. I think when you.
Oh yeah. It was kind of the old track.
I think George Tomo was your groundskeeper back then.
Yeah.
They tried to patch it up and.
Yeah, no. Well, the practice field was brand new. They had the 2 grass fields, and those were spectacular. And then, but the stadium itself was kind of the old track, and I can remember the parking garage there and everybody hanging out over there. But it'll be cool to see the new stadium and how it's set up. And I know they're redoing Aloha Stadium. That'll be a couple years away, but. I think it's really special that they brought it back on campus. I think it'll give a really good atmosphere for the program for the next couple of years for sure. And our guys in our travel party are really excited to be able to play on campus there for sure.
And finally, one last thing. Seeing it from the other side, is that how you planned your trip for this? Knowing the difficulties in the time, adjusting the time and the climate and the humidity and everything.
Yeah, from a climate standpoint, should be about the same. We're a hot, humid climate. It actually probably would be a little cooler, to be honest with you. As far as the travel, you got to pick your poison. Do you get on Hawaii time or do you stay on your time? We'll be dealing with a little bit of jet lag, but at the end of the day, ball's ball. No matter what time you play, you better be ready to roll. So. Again, I think our guys, this football team is excited at the opportunity, excited to face a really good opponent. It'll be a great honor to go there and to play a really good team in University of Hawaii. So there's a lot of excitement for us to go over there and get a chance to play.